People, today I'm going to be reviewing Fear the Drowning Deep by Sarah Glenn Marsh, and I have to say that sometimes it's amazing when you find a person or find an author that just clicks with you in a way that you feel like this person is writing for you directly, and it's telling things to you that you can relate to. And also it's kind of like she's writing things that I ever wanted to find in a book, but I maybe never did until I read her book. So that's amazing. I have to say that I'm very surprised with this book. First, because it's a debut, it's her first book, and it's amazing. I have to say that first I read the duology of Reign of the Dead, Reign of the Fallen, and Song of the Dead, and I was very surprised by the way she has of writing, because she has like this darker trend, not dark per se just because she wants to make a spectacle or something like that, but because she sees the world from another perspective. In the duology of Rain and Song, I think it's like a given, because we are talking about necromancers who are raising the dead, and you can expect it to have some darker repercussions and things that can happen. But in this book, in Fear the Drowning Deep, you are going to find that again. I have to say that it's amazing. I remember reading reviews saying that they were expecting like killer mermaids, or that they weren't expecting the twist about one of the characters, because they were expecting that character to be some sort of mermaid, and they were like, what, because they didn't accept what the character was. And I also remember there was some kind of reviews saying that there was insta-love. And I know that I'm a reviewer and I do reviews, and obviously when I have to buy a book, I try to gauge the impressions this book has made on people. But then what I will say to everyone is the same thing that I say to myself. If you get an attraction toward a book, just inform yourself, see reviews, see if they connect more or less with what you feel, and even though, go for the book. Because I did love this book precisely because there is no insta-love and there is no killer mermaid. So for me that was amazing, because I think that in a way we have had lots of books that when you are saying things like Fear the Drowning Deep, the first thing that comes to mind is mermaids. And I love that she brought to life another set of mythological animals that we haven't seen so much in books, and that for me was amazing. But yeah, I'm losing myself here, so I'm going to back to the book. We are going to find this main character. She is afraid of going to the sea because she remembers walking with her granddad, and they were walking near a cliff, and suddenly it was like her granddad heard some kind of music, and then he began walking very close to the cliff and finally jumping to the sea and drowning. So she began telling people that there was some kind of music playing and that something happened, and so people began to shun her, saying that she isn't right on the head and things like that. And then fast forward until the present moment. There is at the beginning of the book we have this character Brynn, and she has gone to do some house chores that her mother has asked her to do, and she witnesses people from the island where she lives that they are just taking a girl out of the sea, a girl who has been drowned, and this brings her back to that moment, to those new nightmares she has of her granddad falling to his death. So yeah, we're going to find her in a place where she begins to be afraid again, because since her granddad died, she has been afraid of the sea. She doesn't know how to swim, and she fears the sea because you cannot see what the depth is hiding. So she's in that place where she suffers because her father is a fisherman, and she doesn't feel very secure going near the sea because of all those things I said. So when this little island where they live began to see lots of girls drawing and disappearing and dark things going on, she feels like she is the one that has to put a solution to all of this. What's more interesting also is that all her sisters, the sisters that are of an age, are working and she isn't. So she overhears her parents talking about maybe she needs to have a job just to help them with the income and all of that. And then she ends apprenticed to a witch, a witch. She is called Morak. She is a woman who lives very far from the town, and everyone thinks that she's a witch. And at the beginning of the book, Brynn doesn't want to go near her. She's afraid that she's going to be cursed or something because she's a witch, and you have to fear them. And one of the things that I love most about this book is that nothing appears like it really is. Because Morak, at the beginning of the book, she's very cold. She doesn't treat her very well. But well, we keep reading, we begin to see that maybe she's not that cold. Maybe she doesn't treat her so bad. Maybe it was her prejudices, Brynn's prejudices toward her. All the hearsay that she had heard puts her in a mind state in which she sees Morak in a way that she isn't. And I think that in this book it's very important because it's going to tell us about people who are ostracized because they are different, and the danger of just babbling our mouths and criticizing other people because maybe you're afraid of something because you don't understand that something, or because you see something that's different or someone that's different, and you feel like you come from a place of power and you bully that people and you make them grow apart from humanity and you make them feel like they are not accepted, that they have to be at bay. And I think that's a very powerful message, and we are going to see how it affects Brynn, because Brynn wasn't exactly throwing stones at Morak, but she was kind of believing all these rumors. And when she's going to find herself in the same boat, in the same place that Morak is, you are going to see this shift about how she feels when people began whispering that she's a witch, or and it makes you think. One of the most important things about this book is that in one of her incursions near the sea, Brynn is going to find a guy who's completely naked, and I love the first time that she sees him naked, and it's like, I cannot look at that. I cannot. And he is a guy who has been attacked by some sort of creature. He remembers nothing, and Brynn is going to bring him home, and they're going to develop some kind of first tenuous friendship, and it's going to be evolving into something more. And I love how gradually this evolution is made, and I don't find that this is insta love at all. I love how she compares what she's feeling now to what she was feeling before towards another boy, and how she feels that first there's attraction because he's a very attractive guy, and he goes shirtless because he's full of bandages and things, and she begins to feel herself attracted to him, and they began step by step they begin a relationship where they come closer. And I love how well written it is. I also love that I'm not going to be say much more about that because I don't want to make spoilers of any kind, but I have to say that I love when one character in this book comes out. Not that there is comes out in a way that there is he's been hiding something or she's been hiding something, and then comes out and presents the truth about his personality, her personality, of who she really is. I'm trying to keep it very vague here. So I love that when this character comes out and explains what this character really is. I love that there is not like imagine this big predator, and there's something that irks me in books, that you have this big predator kind of thing, like a vampire that kills everyone because it needs blood to feed itself, and then suddenly this vampire finds a girl and falls in love, and he just stops killing people because he's in love. And I love that in this book there's this character who has like this dark side. He's also a predator, and I love that there is an explanation by which his killing hunger is sated and he isn't a hunter anymore. But I love the shift and the explanation of why this happened, and I love that the author respects the fact that a tiger doesn't change its spot. It wasn't a tiger, it was a leopard, but you got what I mean. I love that it doesn't change who that person is when that person comes and says, hey, I'm that thing. I love how there's urges and there is things, and for me it was important that there wasn't like I'm going to kiss you and everything I've done it's gonna be forgotten. I love how this character steps up and acknowledges everything that this character has done. And yeah, for me it was amazing that this character, it's that kind of mythological creature. As I say, I love that this book is not about mermaids, so if you love mermaids you're not going to find any in this book. And as I say, I love that we are going to find different mythological creatures like marine serpents, krakens, gasling, also known as hippocampus. And I have to say that I love to see all this array of creatures that I've never seen, or maybe I've seen, but not in the way that's been seen in this book. And I have to say that for me, it's amazing, and I can barely understand how this is a debut novel. I cannot see how this can be a first novel because it's so amazing. I mean, I am in love with the way Sarah creates worlds and the way that Sarah creates characters and how they evolve. I have to say, I love how Brynn, it's a scaredy cat. She's afraid of the water, she's afraid of the sea, and we are going to see her beginning to confront her fears because she has the courage. She begins to see in herself this fire, this she doesn't want to risk her life, she doesn't want to go to sea, but she knows she has to when she has to save someone she loves. And I also love, personally I love, it's like Frozen, that she decides to take this action not because there is a guy, but because there is someone, a family member that she loves, a friend that she loves, a female friend that she loves, and she has to go and do something. I love that she does these things for herself. Since the beginning of the book, you are going to see her trying to brave her own fears, and she's not doing that because suddenly there is some prince that's going to save her, but because she fears for her people, she fears for her friends, she fears for her family. And for me that's amazing to have this woman who was scared just beginning this journey of empowerment, of being sure of herself. And I love that she's doing things, and while she's doing things, she's putting her feet on the sea and she's thinking, I'm afraid, I'm having anxiety, I'm going to run away. And maybe she does run away, but she comes back, and she comes back stronger, and that's amazing for me. I have to say, all the characters are so strong, that's amazing. And also I love the very empowering friendship she has, because sometimes she tells her friends that she has seen monsters in the sea, and maybe they are like, okay, I don't believe you exactly what you're saying, but I trust you. And because I trust you, I'm willing to listen to what you're telling me. And I'm not going to begin saying that you're crazy. I'm going to listen. I'm going to try to understand. So that for me was amazing. As I say, I love that there is also this dark thing. I mean, humans are able of doing great things, but I think that all monsters are human too. Humanity has the power for doing great things, and humanity has the power for doing very bad things. And I think that maybe all of us have this dark part inside of us. Not like it can overpower us, it could, but this kind of equilibrium. We are not always happy, we are not always sunshine and rainbow. Some days we have like dark thoughts, or we're, you know what I mean, right? I love that her characters are just not perfect, that they have flaws, that they have fears, that they acknowledge that they have some part that makes them mad or that make them scream or whatever. Yeah, I don't know, just pick her books, make yourself a favor, pick her book, because it's amazing. And I don't know how many minutes I have been babbling about how good her books are or her worlds are, but you really need to see for yourself. So thank you for watching, and pick her books. Bye. I look like a saleswoman. Pick her books. Okay. Yeah. Thank you for watching.